diamonds. So it would, I think, being a seven and to be with the king, you kind of have to grow. You have to, mature and not operate on the lower side of that jack. But again, it could test you as well. So
I remember learning that way you commented the seven of diamonds. My first husband, Philip, it was the seven of diamonds. And I can definitely see that happened. I can definitely see, I mean, like the way the narrative went, it's like some of what he was involved with at that time. And the character that I was kind of was a real pull up to some of his behaviors. And he stopped doing a lot of different things because he got the call to like meet the king and have babies and get married and all that other stuff. But there was a big shift for him. But I had a hard time dealing with some of the ways that he would be so considering everybody else. I think my bratty King of Diamonds is like, Jesus, why do we got to think about everybody else so freaking much? But the seven of diamonds that he was very considerate of others, and he taught me a lot.
Also, with that relationship, let me see. As a composite, I'm gonna look at the composite for it.
But what do you do in the seven of diamonds and the King of Diamonds? Or the what
Well, the
composite?
seven of diamonds and the king of hearts.
Oh, good one. Okay. So that is
Actually, I think it's the seven of spades. Let me see. Let me do this.
46. Yeah, it's a seven of spades.
Okay. Is that what you said? I don't know if that's what you
Seven
said.
of spades, yeah. 46.
Okay, so also so for that the composite with the seven of spades, seven of diamonds, and the seven of spades, you have the ace of diamonds. So for the both of them, you have the ace of diamonds and seven of hearts. So it's a desire for wealth and also friendship. So the king of hearts are one of those people that just want to be friends. Seven of hearts as well. A lot of them have platonic relationships. Seven of
Mm-hmm.
hearts can really turn a a husband or a wife that they were just friends with, and then it became that they had this love for each other, and then they what they call like a common marriage or whatever. But they have platonic relationships a lot of times, and they have really strong friendships, you know, and they actually would want to have like a kumbaya, right? But so the King of Hearts and the just won't say friendship or relationship, that's really they can depend on someone that they can have a maybe a spiritual relationship with this particular person, and also what keeps it together is the Eight of Diamonds. So resources, building power.
How does the eight of diamonds keep it together? Help me.
It's a combination. It's another combination. I sent the website. I don't know if y'all ever seen it before. It's on Seven Reflections, so you can go on there and look at the relationship test, and then explain a little bit more or go into a little bit more depth. But the final result for that relationship is the club. So universal understanding, knowledge, maybe even a spiritual understanding of, but understanding of who whichever one like let's say if someone is like a church going person, the other one is more like more spiritual, maybe not tarot, but just believes
Mm-hmm.
in everything. But there can be
Mm-hmm.
a mutual understanding, a universal knowledge that can intertwine them. I understand your religion, you understand mine. So,
Mm-hmm.
and just us having a base of uh, religion or a base of theory together, in some type of way, that's we can both understand each other and let people be people. Kind of what I said, seven of hearts and the king of spades. So,
That makes
uh,
sense.
so kind of like a universal truth, success and spreading higher truths and just a universal understanding. So, Nine of Clubs is a teacher as well, so even lifting each other up or in each other's perspective, knowledge, or whatever it may be, or supporting each other. Nine of Clubs has the Queen of Hearts, so comfort, home, mothering, So they need someone to kind of boost them up a lot of times,
Mhm.
which is like a strong partner. You know. So let me see. That's the seven of diamonds and the king of hearts. Um, in their lifetime, we kind of went through that a little bit with the king of hearts. So that's kind of why I want to explain the king of hearts in the beginning a little bit as well, so you can really understand the life path of the king of hearts. The life path is around lifting other people up. There's a social aspect of the King of Hearts. Either it's involved with family and their relationships with friends and family, or they're in a social group or a brotherhood. So it's a brotherhood. That's why I was saying. Did I say brother? That's probably why I got paused. I was on brotherly love. Mm-hmm.
No,
I thought you were about to say something.
no. I definitely think of all that's true. The King of Hearts wants to be friends with everybody, keep a brotherhood, sisterhood, make people feel good. But there is some King of Hearts energy that can be, I don't know, kind of strong-willed sometimes, as much as they can also be very harmonizing to their environment. Like when I was away at Costa Rica, I was reflected by this really wonderful Five of Diamonds elder, and she was saying like, you just can connect to everybody, you just make everybody feel better, this and that kind of stuff. So I think that's that energy. There's like a magnetic energy that kind of comes with that card. But I think they're not, but and I think there's a way that their ability to kind of like work well with others and really listen to the other is important for that like attunement and working together, because I think that's what actually makes the next possibility happen, right? So me making a good vibe and people liking me and laughing when I'm there, okay, but being able to use that to develop more, you know, shared experiences, ideas that could help people grow. Like that's a different level of using the harmonizer. Like Rob, who used to come to Clubhouse with me, actually invited me to the Clubhouse the first time back. We used to call him like he's a tuning fork. He's like a harmonizer. Like wherever he goes, once he connects to the hearts and the things, like there's festivals we've gone to together, he had such a magnetic way about him. It would like really fill him up to be in that space, to be able to move that energy, right? But then it's like, where does it go from there? Like what's the next level? Like you can be the happy king at the party, but then like what else? Like not just the personality, like what does it build? What does it do?
Yeah, I was looking at something. Well, I didn't look at it. I actually meant to click on it, and then I clicked back on it, and it was gone. But he was going into the levels of relationships. I do know the first level. That's all I got to see. was was the introduction. So how do you
Mhm.
get to know someone? And from what you're speaking on, it reminds me of that conversation because, as you said, what are the levels of relationships? Yeah, you can introduce yourself, you can be this brightful person, but is there any type of communication issues or problems? And that's another thing I was speaking about the two of clubs earlier and the king of hearts. Yeah, are there communication issues as well?
Mhm.
uh,
Mhm.
because of the challenge of the king of hearts is the two of clubs. So are you being heard? Or are you communicating, or are you connecting with people? Are you building relationships? Are you asking questions? The two of clubs is a card of fear. So is there any type of fear, or any type of self-doubt that can be in that card as well? So two's always
Mhm.
people. So communicating and fearing, communicating with people possibly as well. But overall, on the strength side, if they could use the positive aspects, they can break down barriers or any type of fear in between those things, or not wanting to connect with people. Also, with the King of Hearts and that Two of Clubs, that's one of the things that they can get over. It's not like a physical ailment; it's more mental. So it's
Mhm.
something that they can break through. It's something that they may have to go to a psychologist or someone about 9 times out of 10 if there is communication issues,
Mhm.
or they're not able to have harmonizing relationships, as you said, because again, they have the Six of Hearts. They have relationships that are long lasting, or supposed to be long lasting. As I said, if there's a break, it doesn't come from them. So they both have these relationships, be able to build relationships. But if they can't, why not? It's probably 9 times out of 10, like we said, the Two of Clubs and the Nine of Spades. And a lot of their troubles comes from the Nine of Spades as well. Circumstances, that's as I was speaking of earlier, that they can't control. So and they are pretty stubborn and sure of themselves and of maybe the principles that they have or they stand with as well. So that's what they tend to be fixed, but not too fixed, and they say, rulership or needing to be, the center stage or have complete control over something. They can kind of take the back seat, and again, they may be comfortable not speaking, maybe. And
they're pretty sensitive too. They're pretty sensitive people.
Mm-hmm.
Sensitivity, like be careful around me. My father outlaw, Philip's father's the King of Hearts. I didn't know that when we first were together, but we would banter and we'd go at each other. But there'd be times sometimes where like the hairs would go up and you kind of didn't know it was coming, and then there'd be ways that things weren't said that could have been said, so I was always a little bit more like, well, what do you mean he feels like that? Why didn't he just say that? And they would be like, he's not going to say that. Like, he wouldn't say that. I'm like, well, why wouldn't he tell me? So I mean, I'm a girl King of Hearts and I'm me, so it was a little different than the way he played his Sagittarius King of Hearts, a man born, he's going to be 90 this year, so he's a much older generation. But he would keep it to himself, but you would kind of know it, like the frequency would change, you'd know he was upset about something, so they're sensitive.
Yeah, defensive, disappointment.
Defensive is a way to say sensitive. That's true too. An error.
No, I was saying that's what I wrote down earlier about the Two of Clubs. So quick to anger, could happen, or being betrayed, quarrelsome, in defense. Weaker ones would build up fear and attempt to dominate in some type of way. Or some of the things. That's kind of what I wrote down earlier. But yeah, that can happen. I think the King of Hearts can be defensive, emotional. And the Seven of Clubs as well. There is something about them as well. Having those relationships, and being defensive is one of those things that they have to learn. So that can be something those two can be learning as well. So emotional control, because they sit Mars, Mercury, and they displace the Two of Clubs. Mars, Mercury, that can be, I can hurt your feelings. that's Mars, Mercury. Like I will hurt your feelings, and not to say I wouldn't care about it, but I just have to take the consequences that come with it, because they're coming, especially with the King of Hearts, the Six of Hearts, and Venus. Oh, you're gonna get the consequences,
Yeah, it's all gonna come back out. It's very true. It's hard to hide from yourself in relationships. Yourself gets mirrored all the time.
And that's what it is. That's a relationship. Exactly what that is. A mirror within.
Look at somebody. Yeah. But King of Hearts at times can be very judgmental and base their actions on those judgments, which can be totally wrong and misleading. Oh, golly, Lisa, that's so true. That's so true. I mean, I'm sure that happens to me in certain areas, and I know close to my heart a couple of people who have made judgments and then based their actions on those judgments and really took a lot of things left and really changed what was possible because the judgment took over the character. I think it's a way that the defensiveness turns into a protection and the judgment's like a shield. But I hear you. What do you think, Gina?
I think they all have that sense of, the judgment, and because of that mastery type of energy, like they don't, sometimes with the king energy, it's hard for them to see it a different way. They can have a lot of that fixed energy. So that it's their way or the highway type stuff at times. you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fixed principles for them. They have the 8 of clubs, so it may be fixed, in that state of mind or what they may think. And the jacks are judges as well. The jack of spades they may have, and Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn. Yeah, jack of spades and Saturn. So they may be hard on themselves and may not say it. But the jack of spades is something that's curious, They can often be seen as like doctors. So they're always asking questions, trying to figure everybody else out, right? Jack of spades can be also someone that can or a card that kind of disguises their own self or how they may feel as well, or come in disguise, right? So being able to hide themselves or hide something about themselves in some type of way, you know. Um, so with the 8 of clubs and with Saturn, Uranus, that's where the fixed principles could possibly come from as well, and also the 4 clubs and Mars. You know, so having fixed ways, fixed way of thinking, a fixed mindset is also that the 8 of clubs and that 4 of clubs. So yeah, so they can have fixed patterns in certain ways as well. Let me see. Was there anything else as far as the comments? I want to get to some of the other questions as well. Any other questions in the comments you see?
Hmm, I'm looking. JLo says, Elise Lattimore, I see my son-in-law start with my 2 of clubs. I say when she explodes, you poke the bear, don't complain. No, we do know 2 of clubs can be bears. I don't see any more questions. No, if anybody has something that they asked, put it in there. I can hear Rashad wanting to make sure he's meeting your call. So if you want to bring something up, do it. Otherwise, yeah, let's go to your other questions, the things that you put in the post.
Okay, yeah. The other question.
It was the 5 of spades one. There was like a combination that was the 5 of spades. I remember one of them being.
Yeah, someone husband was a Leo, King of Hearts, and they are a Virgo. So, and our composite card is a 5 of spades. I love to hear your thoughts on that. So, the 5 of spades, as I did kind of bring that up. So, that's the 5 of spades is about change, as Gina is driving in motion right now. You may want to travel a lot, or you may travel a lot. There could be restlessness, maybe in a relationship as well. But change as far as occupation, or maybe even motivating each other as well. I think fives needs opinions of others. Fives branch out. I think as well. They need freedom. So freedom of thought, freedom of opinion. So with the 5 of spades sits. Like Mars, Venus, So they can also maybe even indulge into technology or something creative together as well. Something that you both love, possibly. So how do you enjoy your time together? And how do you have fun? And maybe because not saying just because you're a Virgo, but there may be a sense of working a lot or being critical, and it may open you up, seeing that you may have to get out of your daily tasks or the things that you normally do and get out and have fun, maybe have or create change, So there's creating a fine balance within your relationship, So the on another level, the 5 of diamonds maybe appreciate the mental activities within the relationship, So and also maybe wanting to be recognized, or there should be, or maybe some recognition within that relationship as well. But both with the 10 of clubs and 5 of hearts is on another level. What power does it give you within that relationship, and what keeps you together is the 2 of diamonds. So the compromising within the relationship maybe keep you two together. Maybe compromise, maybe fun enjoyment, but also financially as well. Partnership. So there may be a strong sense of partnership, that someone may feel within the relationship as well. And the final transformation for that card is the Queen of Hearts. So that you may remind him of his mother, and maybe take care of him like his mom, right? But comfort, love. I don't know if you have children, but there's a passionate sense of love there. Man.
Mhm.
But Queen of
That's
Hearts, I don't think
another set of people I know. They also have the five of spades as their composite, and their child is a two of diamonds. So I thought that was interesting when you said the two of diamonds kind of keeps them together.
real.
It's like,
Oh, that's crazy.
yeah, that's interesting, right? Yeah. All right. So that sounds good. That sounds like it's a fair blurb on it. JLo wants to know, I would love to know the karmic relationship might be for the King of Hearts and two of clubs. Would be interesting to know a little since they created an eight of diamonds. So a two of clubs is 15 and a 13, so that's a 28. So they have their combination is a two of diamonds, and they made an eight of diamonds. What do you think?
So the combination is which cards?
Well, their relationship is a King of Hearts and two of clubs. King of Hearts is 13, two of clubs is 15, right? So that's 28. A 28 is a two of diamonds. So their combination is a two of diamonds, and they made an eight of diamonds. And she wants to know the karmic relationship that might be between the King of Hearts and the two of clubs. I mean, that's like the future karma in the King of Hearts, right? Isn't the two of clubs right there, like just like the three of clubs is in the King of Diamonds? The karma card, or I don't know what to call it now because we talk about it like North Node, South Node, positive karma, negative karma. I don't know, but isn't the two of clubs sitting where the three of clubs sits for the King of Diamonds for the King of Hearts? So wouldn't that be like forward moving for that person because it's moving you to your challenges?
So what was the composite card again?
Two of diamonds, 28.
The two of diamonds. I'll look at the and what was the birth? I look at the so it might be for the King of Hearts and two of
Two clubs and the King of Hearts.
and they created eight of diamonds.
Right.
So yeah, I'll look at the composite for each one.
Okay, for the parents and the kid too.
Yeah, I would just look at all of it kind of separately.
Okay.
So let me
30
see.
minutes of 49. So that's a 10. Okay. Gina, what do you think?
That's a two of spades or two of clubs?
Clubs, it looks like to me.
Because I can't really tell.
I know, me too. I was like looking up nice and close. It's pretty sure it's a club.
Yeah, JLo, can you write that out? I can't really tell. I don't know if that's a club or a diamond. But so the composite is a two of diamonds. Okay, so it's a club. So the composite is a two of diamonds. They don't have an eight of diamonds in it. So for the two of them is a diamond, which is as far as the communication field. So how they communicate is about business, finances, and with the eight of diamonds, positive on a positive standpoint, maybe them helping them some way financially, and maybe in the long run, right, as far as maybe inspiring, or just the greediness from the eight of diamonds, just overall, So we often say children are blessings, as we can see. I think that's one reason we look at composites as well, to see what the energy that the child or whomever is coming to the life is bringing. So that can be partnerships. So within this, the relationship is companionship as far as financially. So business dealings, investments, contracts, documents, and all of those things. And so with the eight of diamonds is overcoming something financially, right? So that sign, it could be a sign symbol, would be the family or the couple may be tackling a task that they had, once had issues with, or there were certain hurdles maybe in the way. And the Eight of Diamonds kind of maybe coming in and inspiring that type of energy, right? Possibly. So that's kind of like the relationship, kind of the energy with the, let's see, with the Eight of Diamonds and just the King of Hearts. Let's see the Eight of Diamonds. There may have been a question as well. Let me just check. 118. Um, the Eight of Spades would be the eight of, so that's physical power, health. I should say physical power, health. Overcoming obstacles, hard work, determination. So again, another eight kind of was the result of that King of Hearts and the eight of diamonds. Um, so look at all the kings. So actually, I'm tripping. So all the kings, when you do a composite, I think it's your own card, if I'm not mistaken, within that card. Let me see.
Well, the two of clubs is the 15, and then the 12, 15 and 12 would be 7.
Hmm?
And that'd be an ace of diamonds, but with the king would be a 2 of diamonds.
For which one?
For cosmic flower, the one that says, I'm a 2 of spades. Is that spades or clubs? Oh, how's your spades? So that's a 41. I'm a 2 of spades, and my father is a queen of hearts. So 41 plus 12 is 53. So that's an ace of hearts with a king of hearts personality card. So that would be the 2 of hearts. What's the relationship composite? So it's the ace of hearts or the 2 of hearts for the 2 of spades and the queen of hearts and king of hearts. Yeah.
That's what that is. So I'm a two of spades.
2 of spades is a 41. And 12 is the queen of hearts and 13 is the king. So 41 and 12 is 53, and that would be minus 52 is the ace of hearts. It's just, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the Ace of Hearts is, of course, the child and the parent, right? The Ace of Hearts is the baby card. So, of course, the hearts are all about love, relationships, and inspiration. Again, with the Ace of Hearts, that's a lot of cards that inspire different ways. And so, of course, the King of Hearts is, I think, inspires as far as forgiveness, and I think the Ace of Hearts inspires someone to be childlike, to have fun, artistic. Was of course the King of Hearts is the artist as well. Um, but just the love of music, so there's a love for something, whether it's art, music, so there's an inspiration or some type of shared love maybe within the relationship somehow. So I think as we all grow older, we want someone to kind of keep us young. So I can imagine maybe some type of youthful relationship or activity, something, that keep both of y'all young in some type of way. So the Ace of Hearts is, again, like I said, kids. I don't know if there's any grandkids or children, so I can imagine what that relationship is right as like as well. So let me see. And y'all respond as well. I don't know if there's any other questions or anything that I'm speaking of that would be relatable. And the Ace of Hearts is a humanitarian as well, also. So that could be giving back or maybe philanthropy in some type of way. I don't know if there's some type of business, that you speak about or that you're inspired to do that you can share to each other in some type of likeness. So maybe social work or something that you both did possibly as well. And this was the father.
Yeah, she said that there was her father was the Queen of Hearts, so a King of Hearts personality.
Yeah, the personality really goes into the person. It can differ because the personality cards are something you may not see.
Mm-hmm.
Until you really get to know someone. Mm.
Yeah, well, again, we talk about how relationships are how you kind of get revealed, right? Because it's in the mirrors and the reflections of the relationship that you find out what you do when that happens. Sometimes when you're by yourself, certain discomforts don't happen. But when you're dynamic with another, you're like, oh man, when they did that, look what I did. What's going on there?
And if they can live up to it as well, depending on what type of card. The king, queens, all those cards are really hard to live up to a lot of times as well. Some people do it better than others. But we all are fighting to be our own queens and kings in our own likelihood and our own plight. So it's understandable. So I kind of
I
went
guess the big
through.
trick is not getting caught in the perfectionism. Like I think one of the traps for the kings that I live and know and feel to be, there can be a perfectionism that can really limit your ability to have fun. Do you know, like a way that you think it has to be because of the pressure of the crown or the way that you took the information in from your life and what you think's important. But that idea of perfection can really cut into creativity sometimes. Like, it can hold people back.
Yeah, it does. That's that mirror thing I was talking about earlier. It definitely
Mm-hmm,
keeps you up in JLo.
mm-hmm.
Um, is really looking into the mirror, and that can come with perfectionism too. Surgeries I would mention. I guess with the seven of hearts can happen as well. Seven of hearts, four of diamonds, ten of clubs, maybe. Um, who else? Seven of clubs. I said seven of spades, king of clubs, maybe queen of diamonds, maybe. But all of those people could possibly have surgeries based upon perfectionism, you know,
Yeah.
adjusting one another life, and maybe cards in that Mars
It's so
card.
debilitating, right? Like because here you have like creativity that's meant to come through the clarity that you bring. And then there's some narrative or hook or heaviness. It's like, oh, what if? Oh, I better not. What if? It's like, oh, what a heavy thing, right? It's just cray.
They say
So,
when we pass, we get to see the what ifs. So I don't know. Someone, a great man, once said, "Live without the what ifs." So live for the now in the most positive standpoint, right? So work with what you have now to your best of abilities and expand on that. No, thank you. I can age like fine wine.
I agree, J-Lo. I mean, like, that's the whole thing. I mean, I will say as I'm getting older, the perfectionist stuff that's in my character doesn't seem to be as loud as it once was. But my psychoness was around being a mother. It wasn't necessarily around being a person or being authentic. I never felt anything but strong there. But around being a parent, sometimes I would second guess and undermine my confidence and what a mess it would be. And I agree that we do age and become more liberated of some of those distortions in our mind.
Mhm.
For sure.
Oh, mental seven, all the sevens. One thing about the queens, they all have sevens in Pluto as well. So they definitely do have a heavy crown, and the reward actually for the kings would be the seven. So there's a relationship primarily in the spiritual spirit, as Gina was saying, not just the crowning, but that being the reward also. So for the kings, so there's definitely some maybe some. Something there mentally that's happening as far as the reward or feeling like what you have to have. Another question that someone has was about the Queen of Clubs, and that's transforming into the King of Hearts. Um, Do you know any Queen of Clubs, or how do you feel about the relationship with the Queen of Hearts?
I've been like I've been totally sandwiched recently with two Queen of Clubs. That's why it was fun to see Minora. She's one too. Um, yeah, that Donna, she's a Queen of Clubs, and our composite is a Queen of Hearts, and we're still chatting about ways to create things for a family card table and ways to look at families and raising children more specifically. And there's another lady named Sangoma who you met one time who came in. She's an African Aribe woman, and she just made a deck of cards called the Truth Deck, and she uses the 52 cards. And the way it was inspired from the little bit she shared with me, and I want to speak it wisely, she did an AI thing and pulled out some images of different things, and from the images was able to acquire this wisdom about the truth and the cards in these 52. So I haven't seen the deck yet. It's just come out. So, and they both are like in my circle right now with that Queen of Hearts energy, and just, and I am finding working with them to be very clear, like good communication, I mean, very emotionally based, but not like dramatic. Do you know what I mean? Like getting to the point. So I'm enjoying the dynamics of the Queen of Hearts with those two Queen of Clubs very much.
Mm. Yeah, so there's definitely some social work there. I was speaking about that. The King of Hearts is Mars Mercury. So they come up. They always become advocates, activists in some type of way as well, for people, or maybe on some type of social platform, teaching, So they're the father, as you may see, and a lot of times they say the Queen of Clubs ends up with their children, or there could be possibilities of possible um, things that go into like the courts, as well. So they custody or custody problems, with their children in some way as well. So the king, so they have the Jack of Hearts and Pluto, which is children as well. So there is something around children and protecting other people in with the Queen of Clubs a lot of times. So the King of Hearts for them, and Gina kind of spoke about it last week, looking at your transformation. So your transformation is something that's kind of hard to, I want to say it's kind of hard to get to. It's something you have to work to. Some people believe or look at the cards as you will never get there.
Like really, transformation, you'll never get there. So like Ace of Diamonds or whatever, that won't happen.
Yeah, I don't know if that's how they say it completely. I'm just being blunt how I'm taking it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
They say that you'll never reach that card to its entirety, so it's something that you can't claim, until to death, I guess. But I'm a person that I believe in death and rebirth.
Me too.
So with the,
I wish there was a way to find out if somebody came back as their next card. Like it's like, so what if like I transformed in my next life to an Ace of Diamonds, or you became a Four of Clubs in your next life? Do you know what I mean? I wonder about that kind of stuff. But
yeah, I don't know. I think there's going to be a speaking child who looks at the card and they're going to tell us who they were in their past life, and we'll try to come up with all the kids who did that, right? We're going to connect the dots of all the kids, see which day was born, and be like, okay, do you remember the birth date of that person? All right, that's how we can test them out.
Yeah.
But I think the King of Hearts is like one of the John. I don't know if it's not John the Baptist, David. It's one of them, right? So they're advocate for people, or the principle of love. So being fixed in your principle and who you are, and one of those fixed principles is definitely love, and it's supposed to be forgiveness, right? On the other side, so there's teachers, counselors, musicians, people that can guide and lead other people, But as we were kind of saying earlier, it's using your voice. So the Queen of Hearts, Queen of Clubs, it's Mercury, Mars. So some of them can be temperamental, be very temperamental, You know, they may say certain things, may be able to cut people a certain type of way. But so using all that love and using that wisdom that you have that can cut people to on the other end to help people, right? So being
Mm-hmm.
able to kind of help people socially and guide them. So a lot of times um, the clubs are considered like the clergymen, the people that, or maybe people that's working in the office, you know, that's helping other people. The King of Hearts is, like I said, it doesn't have to be the leader, but it can
Mm-hmm.
be the leader if it wants to. It can be on center stage and helping people, right? So it can be a person that's organizing people on a grander scale than maybe just the office in itself, or maybe someone that has their own business, you know, rather than just working for someone else, or maybe leading the corporation or the company in some type of way, or maybe I want to say sacrificing, or maybe working with working for a higher cause or schools, pets, working with pets or something, you know, in some type of way, or a shelter in some type of way.
Mm-hmm.
But King of Hearts is one of those cards. It's all kings, has the ability to do a lot of different things, but definitely being a leader or being someone else that could possibly be center stage and helping people, or maybe in the back, behind the scenes, helping people in some type of way. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Do you want to hear what else they want to say? Can you see that? Um, can you speak to the Queen of Hearts' tendency to losing their spouse to death? I don't know about that. Have you heard about that, Rashad?
I said Neptune. Neptune. I don't know about all the time. Haven't seen that written. Maybe I should. I'm gonna look a little bit more. Um, but it is. I do see the Queen of Hearts as being the nun. I do speak about that, or Mother Teresa. So there can be a sabbatical or some type of isolation that happens in some type of way, where they go into this spiritual path just by themselves. So there can be a separation or divorce that happen. That's why I was going to speak. That's why I said the Queen of Clubs can be court, something that happens in court. I didn't want to say, but there can be a divorce for the Queen of Clubs and Mercury. So there can be a
Mhm.
divorce that happen within the relationships with the Ten of Spades. So there can be a separation or maybe something from their spouse. I always say divorce or some type of way. But yeah, the Ten of Spades and Spades in general do represent death in some type of way. So it is the earth, it is the death a lot of times. That's why I would say the Ace of Spades and Nine of Spades is the death and rebirth cards, you know. So the Ten of Spades sitting Neptune can be, also death, or maybe even needing therapy, you know, or having people around you in a social group that need some type of group therapy, deep therapy, in some type of way.
All right, and then there's one other thing. With the Queen of Clubs transforms into the King of Hearts. How does the Two of Hearts play out? That both have as their moon one cosmic and the other moon to the King of Hearts.
Relationships. I was telling somebody.
That was a funny sound.
I was telling a Queen of Clubs about I'll read something from a book as well. 'Cause I was telling them about their relationships and how they desire a certain type of relationship, and it can be around money or wealth, and how they desire some type of famous relationship. I won't say famous, but it could be a crush. But the Two of Hearts overall for the Queen of Clubs isn't just a rich relationship. It's more of a soulmate type of energy, you know, a deep desire. That's kind of probably what got got a lot of Three of Diamonds in trouble. You know, is a deep need for companionship, um, or a spiritual relationship, someone you can speak to, right? So just someone that you can communicate with. So let me read Two of Hearts and the Moon from this book. So it says the can indicate much security and happiness and love. Your emotional needs are being met, and you are very content and secure in love. You may find security and peace within a close friendship as well. A relationship with your mother may become more important. On the other side of the coin, emotional fears may surface, possibly from patterns formed in childhood or having to do with your mother, and have to dealt with, or you may have to deal with this for the year. Also, a woman indicate the birth of a child, but but yeah, that's what I said that gets the three diamonds in trouble is curiosity killed the cat. That's what I say. For the three diamonds, that's definitely what get us in trouble is curiosity killed the cat.
So
Some
then does
may
it mean that you're not listening to your instincts and your intuition like that? Like when the excitement and the curiosity or the adrenaline comes, does it start like a revving up that kind of like keeps you from paying attention to the ripples? Like, how do you think it plays out?
yeah ripples. I think I think it definitely does. It's definitely one of those things that you have to control yourself, control your mind, control your emotions. Self control. The knowledge of self, not succumbing to your fears or not, and also not succumbing to your passions, whatever that may be. So yeah, it takes a lot of self control. So even with the Queen of Clubs and the Two of Hearts, that can be a person. I know some Queen of Clubs that have waited. They'll do long distance relationships. They can be very patient within relationships, and I think that is
Yeah,
something.
definitely.
That is something that comes from that Two of Clubs as well, of knowing and being secure, maybe within your relationship, or having this deep desire of love for someone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, a three's kind of willing to play, but it's a bummer that when they play, the curiosity kills the cat. Like it goes bad, you know?
Hmm.
I heard you say the threes, curiosity kills the cat, but also the threes like to play. They like to do new things. They like to try things. So
Hmm.
I'm just reframing it around like what shifts so that you can do that great opportunity to try things, but not kill the cat. You know what I mean?
Not kill the cat. No, yeah, for sure. Let's not kill the cat for sure. Yeah, and not being fearful. You know, so
Mhm.
yeah, being able to explore, letting people know who you are. Dive into the inner depths of your desires with someone. And that's why it takes a really close relationship as well. Trial and error for threes. Yeah, definitely trial and error. Um,
You could
getting
wear
your
an aluminum dunce cap to control your mental mind too, said Jayla.
Whether right. Because it's not me, right? It's not me. It's coming from the universe. So,
You are really psychic. You got that ace of spades. You are
oh
really
yeah,
psychic.
yeah, yeah.
Probably is
That
like a discernment piece for real, right?
well, yeah, that too. Yeah, that does also come from a very a psych having, or I wouldn't even say wanting, getting a lot of times someone that is what Kevin Gates says is psycho connected. A lot of times, someone that yeah, someone has a very. I get this all the time, so I was just thinking about you type of things. I think we all do once you have that type of relationship with someone. I think
Hmm.
and those
Hmm.
are the relationships that we desire. So having those type of relationships that when you thinking of someone, they text you. You having that uh, uh, type of relationship with someone where y'all are on the same level as far energetically.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, Gina's with us. She's here, but she's not here in the physical. But she said it's control as well. Control issues. Yeah, definitely control issues. That comes with the King of Hearts as well. So that be with the 3 of diamonds, that being the reward, but having control. Yeah, no, we can't hear you. I can see you typing, but yeah, it can be a control thing, not getting your way and within the relationship because you want that satisfaction or that type of relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the Queen of Clubs. That Two of Hearts. Let me go back to the phone, see if there was any other questions. So we spoke a lot about the Seven of Clubs, Seven of Diamonds. Kind of tackled that. Oh, she went out. Talked about the composite, the King of Hearts. My birth card is the eight. I didn't get. I don't know the eight of hearts challenging. Let me go back to it because I didn't get. I don't think I sent the. I didn't copy it right. My birth card is the Eight of Hearts. Eight of Hearts is King of Hearts challenging karma card on my yearly plate. My brother and godchild are the King of Hearts. So displacing the King of Hearts. I spoke about that a lot of times, a few times rather.
Can you hear me now? Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry, I was trying to talk and everything, but I guess y'all didn't hear me. That's all right.
No, you're
Um,
good. You're good.
well, no, I
We
wanted
know
to
you
speak about that too, real quick, with the queen and the question, because I think what, yeah, relationships are really important to them, but at the same time, like there's that element of control that those twos have, like trying to control others, control the relationship, and a lot of times with the Queen of Clubs, the relationships will have them, dethrone themselves, you know, because of that essence of having to control things. So I think that can play. Even with the kings, there's the element of control as well with them, trying to
are.
control the situation, control others, etc.
Hmm. That overly dominant, not being overly dominant, and that's one thing about the king of clubs with that Mercury, that Mars Mercury aspect, is them verbally being dominant in their relationship. Verbal abuse in some type of way. Either they got it, and they may become defensive about it, or you may have to just watch yourself the way that you speak to people within your relationship. But I know some Queen of Clubs are really, really cool. They only get that way in their relationships. You really won't see them like that unless they're drunk outside, unless they may have a little bit of alcohol. But on the inside, they're really nice people. It's like they're talking about, they can be those type of people. Because alcohol, Queen of Clubs, and all of those Queen of Hearts,
Unless
all
they're
those
drunk, it's so funny.
things. Yeah, there can be some alcohol that comes with the Queen of Clubs usually, and if they can handle it, they can just be a bright, full, and cheerful person. If they can't, you may get to see the other side of them, that Mars Mercury side, for sure. Um, yeah, so I think the oh yeah, the question with the Eight of Hearts. So the Eight of Hearts is challenging me for the year on plate, and my brother and godchild is a King of Hearts. So let's go. Let me go to plate. It's plate 48. Um, if I know Gina's driving, I don't know Madeline if you have the plates or not. And that's very dope. The brother is the King of Hearts because someone that's supposed to protect you, So, um, but there could be a challenge with it being the King of Hearts, right? And it's your challenge card. So, or it could be you seeing things from their perspective in some type of way. Is that the right plate?
I have a book that has them. I can't get it on my computer right now. But tell me what plate you're looking for, and I can open up the book.
48. I was looking forward to starting. No, that's not. I'm not on that plate. King is challenge. King of Clubs is challenge on 48. I'm not real sure, but my birth card is the Eight of Hearts. For the Eight of Hearts, okay, on plate 48. Your
Eight of
challenge,
Hearts, plate 48.
yeah, the
Correct?
challenge is the Five of Diamonds, which is business or change in business. Could be confusion, you know.
So be flexible, right? If whatever
Mhm.
the 5 is asking, because the kings and the 8s can be a little bit inflexible, right? So you would need to be flexible in business, be open to change, be open to others' opinions, be adaptable. Don't get so stuck, because that's a part of those 8s in the king.
Mhm. And the King of Diamonds is in Neptune as well. So that's just not just
Yeah,
being
that's what I was
flexible.
just going to tell you. They're in Neptune. It's the 10 of Hearts in Mercury, 9 of Hearts in Venus, 4 of Spades in Mars, 7 of Spades in Jupiter, Jack of Spades in Saturn, 4 of Diamonds in Uranus, King of Diamonds in Neptune, and 4 of Hearts long range.
Yeah, so the King of Diamonds and Neptune. So just not just being flexible, like Jenna said, being open to new ideas, you know, being open to the advice of others, you know, having someone that's around that has probably been in the business before as well. Because a lot of times with kings, you know, you want to have people or counsel or people with experience around you as well, you know. So maybe I want to say maybe a mentor or having a mentor being a part or a mentor group, you know, in some type of way, or maybe looking at getting advice, you know, if whatever it is that you're doing, you know, as far as business wise, because I said there could be changes, right? Gino was saying that be flexible with that Five of Diamonds, you know, and with the Three of Clubs. So writing things down as well. It could be something that you dream about. So a lot of times with the Three of Clubs, you want to write a lot. So getting your thoughts out, getting your ideas out, and being creative, you know. So taking notes, taking heed to the advice that you get as well, because of that Three of Clubs. And a lot of times threes have a hard time with actually taking the advice and using it. So make sure
Mhm.
you're getting advice and taking it and using it as well. So let me see the spread again. Mm, has the Ten of Hearts, so that's social giving. It has a Nine of Hearts and Venus, so that's giving. You know, a lot of times I said sacrifice, but that's giving maybe socially. And kind of, I think we spoke about it. If you go back and look at the Nine of Hearts video, Gina was speaking about how I believe I don't know if that was the week that you had the event outside in the public, but she gave some things away, right? If you have a business or you testing something, you know, that's something you may want to do with the Nine of Hearts. Go out, test your product, give some things away, see how people like it. What is the price points, pros, cons, you know? And the Saturn card is critique. You know, I was saying getting someone, you know, getting advice from others, but that's also taking critique as well about your business. So the King of Diamonds have major plans. They're looking towards the future, right? So they may have ideas that other people may not believe as well. So being stagnant and having focus on what you dream of or what you want as well and your ultimate plan. But you know, thinking of it as a organization or creating an organization, you know, let me see. It has a Queen of Diamonds, Nine of Diamonds. So finances and those things, there could be a challenge with, and that Saturn row, all diamonds are there. So that presents a challenge in some type of way.
Mhm. Mhm. I agree about writing is important to moving the thoughts and ideas for sure. That's where I'm going today. I'm like gonna go write and set the ground for the Sweat Lodge to grow and enjoy quiet in my house and let the new beginning start from the inside. Sometimes in all the holidays that have been mine, there's so much going on, and I'm actually usually kind of cranky around holidays. And I'm recognizing today it's because I actually like having it by myself. I like having some of my own time to meet the earth and to listen and to connect. So I hope everybody's spending their new beginning, their Easter, that it's one of the first holidays to mark. I know we're not all pagan, but that connection to the earth. I'm not pagan either. I just know that earth connection is the one that I think is calling us the loudest so that we can steer ourselves differently. So that's where I'm at today. But this is a good combo.
Yeah, let me see if there's anything else, any other questions. Also, that King of Diamonds, there's going to be an investment. You're going to have to lose some money, make some money type thing as well. The King of Diamonds in Neptune, because it's displacing the Nine of Diamonds. So, and you already, like I said, all diamonds are there anyways. So, King of Hearts is my long range card this year. I'm an Aries, Two of Spades. So, the long range card is a lot of times, I think, in the Robert Camp system, it is considered like the yearly. Is that correct? I think it's the yearly card in the long range. I mean, in the Robert Camp system. Let me see. But the King of Hearts, with your long range, is something that you have for the year, right? So the long ranges for you would be a focus as far as relationships. Using your inner voice. Standing up for yourself and maybe other people, or maybe protecting people. It could be possible children, or you feel like you want to stand up for a cause in some type of way, right? So fighting or taking up for some other people, maybe even educating, right? But the law of love, right? Brotherly love. But using the law of love, to help other people. And it can be seen as people maybe using it to deceive people as well, what has been in the news lately, and also with Joe Biden. You know what? It's very interesting. Joe Biden.
Well, that's what you've been wanting to talk about the whole time. I can't believe the whole time we weren't talking about Joe Biden and the politics.
No, I didn't want to get too political because I haven't been very political myself. So, but yeah, but he did make today, which is today, Easter fell on today. This is in that. Make sure we get that right as well. Easter does not fall on the same day every year.
Right.
Yeah. But 3/31 happens to be Easter this year. So Biden, he made today, I think his what is today? Transgender Day.
And that's a 6, right? Because it's a 2008. It's an 8-year and 3/31. So that's a 15, which is a 6.
So is he practicing his 6 of hearts?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you 3/31, that's a 7 plus the 8 is 15. That's a 6. And I guess, I do sense that all the characters are looking to kind of like find home base and settle. Like, I don't know. I know everyone thinks that some people are just evil to be evil, but I think it's just the underside or the upper side of the way you're thinking.
And I was just saying, did I just say that? If someone has another religion or faith, that kind of you have to have universal understanding. That's how I see it. With the nines as well. Letting go of your ego, I think, is one of those things. As much as we all have been raised under our religious homes and has taught certain things were bad, disgusting. And transgender isn't just I guess I don't want to be politically wrong, gay. I guess I don't know if it's not just having a like for the opposite sex, but it's altering your gender. So that is a little different because now I think about it is transformation. We are transforming. The 5 of clubs is there, Mercury, Saturn as well. I can say the Five of Clubs is one. Another card is about change, right? And it has the Five of Hearts. That is challenging it. So being yourself. I was talking about freedom of self. So this is a some type of freedom that they have been given to be their self, right? With the Five of Clubs, so they're getting the freedom to be their self. The Five of Hearts is always I see is identifying oneself. It's Saturn and Venus, so that can be identifying yourself sexually, right? Furthermore, Mercury, Saturn, identifying yourself or identifying yourself as far as grammatically or the way that you say or the way that you are referenced. So we're talking about identifying people and defining people, right? So, yeah, I think that is the Five of Clubs energy.
Yeah, I always wonder about the challenge it might be for fives to stay anywhere, because they're always like looking for change and movement. But I know several fives have been married for a long time, but some of them get to spots where they're like, I can't do this anymore. Like I have to change. Like it's like inherent in their nature to change in ways that not everybody can or do.
Yeah, so I think with that being that's kind of significant. I think with being on this date, something important to kind of look at as far as the date. So I know I hate to get so Americanized and in a conspiracy, everything's a conspiracy, but the universe conspires. Let's say that the universe definitely uses people. The universe uses us. So it may be something that there's a change that is happening around us that we either going to have to get used to, because now dates are, when you start playing with holidays and dates and those things, they kind of stick, especially to put it on the Five of Clubs day. I think this one's going to stick pretty good as much as people are going to try to fight it, right? But also, I think he's practicing his Six of Hearts and Venus, to love all, and the greatest power is love. I was just preaching that, right? So, and the King of Hearts is preaching love, right? So, and loving people and having no bias within that. And so the hearts are judged and they're ruled by the principle of love, right? So, and that
Love is
fixes
without
it.
judgment, right? Because judgment is our protections to love. Like discernment and judgment are very different. And when we put a judgment on something, it's usually got some salty part of our personality or some prior experience webbed into it, right? Whereas love is innocent, love is pure, love is curious, love allows.
Yeah, I think in our form of judgment, it is, and we think of it as being condemned, but they're not condemning. I don't think it should be seen as, because the kings are judges. So it is, you are condemning someone, but in the power of love. You know, someone once said that you can't be wrong as long as you're vibrating from their instincts of love and what you do. So it's not that you're getting judged; it's you're practicing what's rightfully right. What's lawfully right. So are you being judged or condemned, or are you just practicing the law of love? So it's I think fine line, thin line. I think, I don't know if I'm saying that right or responding. Is that what you were saying or speaking on?
Yeah, just love is fluid. Love allows. Like I think sometimes like change means letting go. Like I don't know, I listen to Molly McCord all the time, astrology, and she was saying that as we go through these eclipses, and I happen to have the Cryon and Pisces and things like that, that 90% of what was is staying and only 10% is going forward. So I mean, I'd like to think that what it's staying is the judgments, the distortions, the confusion, right? And the purity is what's going forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I term that to be the more acceptance that can come in love.
Come in love and leave in love, right?
Yeah, begin and end in the love. Yeah, for real.
Yeah, so that's I think we were speaking on the King of Hearts long range, right? But that's the King of Hearts, and I guess almost not in its entirety, but it's a union of people of what they say kindred souls, and to love all, and to not judge, I guess you can say, but to walk into love. So yeah, that is, creating relationships. I was talking about the humanitarian aspects of this particular clubs, as well. So that could be working with people or be just being social in nature, uh, having that as your long range. So let me see if there's any other questions. I know Gina is like trying to be in there with us.
I know. I
Who's the
saw she's
team?
like walking on the beach. I was definitely getting jelly. I was like, oh my god, look at that stuff. It says it's not a holiday, it's a recognition. It's been recognized way before Biden.
Oh, it's not a holiday. I was wrong. Okay. Why is it in the news? What is this in the news? It's not a holiday. Okay, my bad. Correction.
It's a
Um,
recognition.
recognition. Okay, and it's always been that way.
All right.
Um, let me see. Let me. Oh yeah, I can speak on. Let me see. I guess I'll read from the book what the Six of Hearts says for the King of Hearts. Oh yeah, I was looking for King of Hearts since my long range. Okay. Yeah, we answered all the questions that from the week. If there's any other questions, please let us know. We're almost at 2 hours, so I'll go ahead and close it out and read from here. Uh,
So you're gonna read and close us out?
yeah, just
Okay.
about the King of Hearts.
Okay.
Um, I guess I'll read a little bit about the King of Hearts too. So it says, "To all King of Hearts, peace of heart is the most desirable thing on earth. They want security and surroundings, but more than that, they want security and love. They want it to last forever. They keep their friend a long time and are never responsible for breaks if they occur. This is the card that is allied to the Christ principle, that is the platform upon which they stand in their relationships." So responsible, want security in all their relationships, and practicing and preaching the power of love. You know, so as they say, we come in love and we leave in love. They want security in all surroundings, which love is the most desirable. So, and I'll read a little bit, I guess. So I'll read the other part. So we do on occasion find them quarrelsome and overbearing. When that is the case, it is not so much the evidence of negativity as a problem for the psychologist. They displace the Two of Clubs, a fear card. They are constantly meeting with disappointment and others and are frequently deceived or betrayed. The weaker ones will naturally build up a fear neurosis and will also naturally express it in attempted domination and quarrels as a measure of defense. Like any other mental sickness, it needs treatment rather than condemnation. That can be readily cured. The women especially need to take warning. So when they begin to express their nervousness and bossness and a tendency to rule the roost, it is a signal to hurry to a psychologist. The book told me hurry to a psychologist. Okay, I think I said that earlier too. But you good, G? You out there having fun? I appreciate you inviting us to the beach, though.
Yeah, thanks for bringing us over. We can't hear you, honey.
Can you hear me now?
And the waves and the birds.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gina.
There, I'll turn this way. There it is.
Nice. Oh,
Yay!
that's so
My happy
sweet.
place. Well, y'all have a good one. I'm gonna jump off here because I was in and out.
Well, thank
All
you.
right.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, enjoy
Bye.
the beach.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.
All right, Rashad. Well, we went a lot of places, and I guess we're gonna have to recognize that the King of Hearts goes all over the place. I have to think about that. But we did some really good stuff. There's a lot of good information in here. So thank
Now,
you.
yeah, we have a someone that will listen. So hopefully, maybe they'll critique us. I don't mind.
Well,
But
that's
I
good.
think we touched on all the good parts, but I was kind of trying to keep it in detail. We answered some questions, about the King
No,
of
you
Hearts.
did.
I spoke about the King of Hearts, Seven of Clubs relationship a lot, and throughout, because it kind of related about the being steadfast and fixed in who you are, because there can be insecurities within that King of Hearts with that Two of Clubs challenge. So, yeah. But he's the president in supporting HBGT groups. It's only right. Of course, he's looking for points, but he'll do the same thing on May 31st and June the 19th. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But like for other things, like he's just making a stand for everything, like not just that. Is what they're saying, right?
Yeah, I think so. Of course, like you said, he has to, especially at this point. Trump may not be everybody's favorite, but it seems like he may be a majority. So, but we'll see. But thank you all. We'll be here next week. We'll talk about what is next week? Is the EXA? Do we
We
go into
go into the clubs, right? Wait, because we're leaving. I mean, it's the. She said it was the King of Hearts month, right? Or the Queen of
we're going.
Hearts month.
The month. Well, it depends. The King of Hearts, Queen of Hearts, then Jack of Hearts. So March. Queen of Hearts month is next month.
Right. But then what's the week next week? The Ace of Clubs?
Ace of Clubs. Yeah, that's the Ace of
Nick. And Nick, we're calling you out. Come on.
Yeah, so we're going to an Ace of Clubs week. We've spoken about that a little bit. Gina has a lot of experience with that week. So looking forward towards the week, right? So, of course, looking at relationships. I ain't speak on it too much, but curiosity killed the cat, right? We spoke a little bit about it with the P. Diddy thing and a lot of secrets coming out. The Ace of Clubs has a lot of secrets as well. It has the Ace of Spades, Saturn, so there may be secrets that it may have. And also with the Ace of Clubs, so we may have some secrets coming. Also with the Ace of Clubs, this is Two of Hearts is this challenge. I think Nick kind of spoke about that and explained that pretty well. So, what did he say? I'm trying to think about it. He spoke about the Ace of Clubs and the Two of Hearts. So it's a challenge. Oh, he was talking about the actually Jack of Hearts. So the challenge, is also your support. So the challenge that you have is wanting a close relationship and companionship. But also the support is the Two of Hearts, knowing that you are the support and that you can give it, and not always, I guess you can say, worry about what other people are giving you, making sure you can give that to yourself and give it without needing, or not feeling deprived or not feeling like you just gave up the world, like Nick always says, you are the cake. He is the cake, right? That's a huge pause. That's a huge pause. The Ace of Club is the cake, right? So the Two of Hearts, knowing Ace of Clubs and the Two of Hearts, not looking outside of yourself, making sure that you know that you are the love and give it to everyone else. It is one of those things, and people that is kind of hard to find because they have such a positive outlook, or they can't have a positive outlook on people, and because they desire relationships, they want people around. But they can start a book club, start a cult a lot of times, and meet people where they need to be mentally they can counsel people and
Yeah,
have
yeah.
that psychic relationship. So
Definitely. Yeah.
so seek
Right.
those in like minds. So
That's a good point. And stay in your heart when you're seeking those minds. Try to bring it through your heart when you talk, because if the minds start going at it, sometimes you're in loops you don't even know you're in. So, but yeah, totally. And enjoy your home with your family. I hope you have a good holiday.
all right, you too. Have a nice one.
All right. Bye, Rashad.